Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering Disney. Disney is throwing all of its executives into a panic. Yes, the ones at ABC are particularly upset because they're the ones getting calls from all of their subordinates, all their employees saying, hey, did Bob Iger just say he's selling the company? What's going on? Last week, Bob Iger at an investor conference had a meeting with CNBC in a live interview and said, hey, we're looking at selling our non-core businesses, basically. And that obviously includes their linear TV. He mentioned ABC by name and mentioned all of their linear TV assets. This also includes TV stations. This is thousands and thousands of employees that just found out by a live interview that Bob Iger is definitely going to sell these off. Everyone who's been in business understands that this would never, and I mean never have been discussed publicly unless there was a plan to sell those divisions either to a private equity company over the next 12 months who will pay cash and will lay off tons and tons of employees, or some other entertainment company that might be a little bit less brutal when they take over the linear TV companies. Those companies are gone. There is no way that come 12 months from now, they're going to be part of Disney, because you do not create this kind of havoc inside of the companies, which essentially make them almost unmanageable without being basically forced to. Because if Iger is out there shopping these companies around, telling big investors, BlackRock, hedge funds, Apple, whoever wants to buy themselves a classic network, if you're not out shopping them, you would never talk about them publicly. Iger has done a lot of crazy things in regards to intellectual properties. He's made them all woke. He's done race swaps. He's destroyed franchises. He's destroyed brands. But when it comes to doing a deal, whether it's buying Pixar or Marvel or Lucasfilm, everyone is always surprised when it's announced because he knows how to keep a secret. This is a secret he could not possibly keep. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. I'm trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, so if you can subscribe, please do subscribe. Coming from The Wrap, Bob Iger says linear TV business may not be core to Disney. The Disney CEO is seeking a strategic partner to help take ESPN fully direct to consumer and reiterated plans to buy out Comcast's minority stake in Hulu. But he's also, of course, explained he's going to sell off ABC, any kind of other linear TV assets, anything that's not streaming or intellectual properties or theme parks he doesn't consider to be an important part of Disney. Well, that really did freak people out. Coming from The Wrap, Bob Iger seeks to calm high anxiety at an off-site meeting with TV executives after saying linear TV may not be core to Disney. Quote, he has revealed the truth. One attendee tells CNN's reliable sources he wants to get the highest price he can for the jewel, meaning the asset of linear TV, because he can't afford to keep it anymore. Bob Iger spoke at an off-site meeting with senior TV leaders and sought to calm high anxiety among thousands of employees after saying last week that linear television may not be core to Disney's businesses. CNN's Reliable Sources newsletter reported Wednesday. The offsite meeting was held Tuesday. Offsite means outside of the executive office. You gather people in a different location and you have your meeting there. According to the newsletter, citing people who attended, an individual with knowledge told The Wrap that the meeting hosted by Disney Entertainment co-chair Dana Walden had been planned for weeks and that Iger had always planned to attend. Iger's comments made in a candid interview last week with David Faber of CNBC naturally set off alarm bells inside Disney General Entertainment Content, the division of Disney that houses their linear business and operates quintessential broadcast and cable networks such as ABC, the Disney Channel, National Geographic, and FX. People familiar with the situation told Darcy, the CNN reporter, that thousands of employees have been experiencing high anxiety, sources told them, with them adding that Iger had effectively left staff in the dark by not communicating directly with them since the stunning interview. There have been no company-wide memos, no town halls, nothing but silence since Iger jolted the organization with the news. Tuesday's meeting sought to calm those nerves as Iger fielded questions submitted by the senior company's leaders in attendance. Iger told the gathering that linear TV is incredibly valuable to our business, according to reliable sources from CNN. Iger in particular rizzed up about ABC News, saying he's ridiculously passionate about the news business. It's important to this company. We need to figure out how it makes the transition into streaming, and I happen to believe we will endure. It's too good, it's too important, and it's really fun, a person familiar with the comments told Darcy. There is no place on this earth that Bob Iger is going to figure out how to take ABC News and turn that into some kind of a streaming business. They don't even know what they're doing with Disney Plus. They're not quite sure what to do with Hulu. ESPN Plus isn't what it's supposed to be. They're not going to create a new ABC News streaming service. And the people at ABC News know that very well. And they also know that there are investors, private equity investors, money people, who will put money into an organization as long as they can figure out how to lay off very well-paid people, but still maintain most of the revenues. That's what's going to happen with all of the linear TV businesses that Iger is selling, unless he can get Apple or Netflix or some other major entertainment company interested, but it's unlikely they will. The same thing happened with DirecTV. They sold it at a loss from AT&T, a private equity company. The private equity company raises prices, reduces service, and lays people off. But they do get a return on their investment. It's vicious. And that's what the linear TV businesses of Disney are absolutely headed for. No way would Iger have ever brought this up in an interview or discussed this in an interview and created all these problems for himself unless he knew it's inevitable. I may as well just let people know so we can start the rest of the due diligence process of selling off these divisions. Somehow Iger's comments didn't seem to entirely quell the fears of some senior leaders who now believe they could be for sale. As one Disney insider told CNN reliable sources that Iger's remarks were, quote, the usual jewel in the crown stuff, except now we know that he's selling the jewel. It's great to say that he loves the jewel, the source continued. It's great to say that the jewel's important. It's great to say that the jewel is fun, but he's revealed the truth. He wants to get the highest price he can for the jewel because he can't afford it anymore. Disney did not comment for this article. Well, there's not much more for Disney to say. Iger is obsessed with controlling the intellectual properties at Disney. He's certainly not looking to sell off the theme parks. They make money. They're very unique to Disney and really aren't transferable to anyone anyway. But when it comes to the TV channels, if he can sell those and use the money to invest in streaming, he's really happy to do that. What's interesting is Netflix is doing very well for themselves. From The Hollywood Reporter, Netflix reports blockbuster earnings as password sharing crackdown leads to 5.9 million new subscribers. So Netflix is beating their expectations. They're making money in streaming. Iger is still losing money in streaming. In their recent quarter, they lost $659 million in streaming, which actually was better than the previous quarter, where they had lost 26% more money. Warner Brothers Discovery is a very well-managed business. They figured out how to control their streaming businesses and get them to at least break even or make a little bit of a $50 million profit. But not so with Disney's streaming business, Disney Plus. That thing is still set to lose tons and tons of money. Next quarter, they'll probably lose more money than they lost the previous quarter. I think they're estimating around $800 million to lose. Disney Plus currently has just over 150 million subscribers around the world, and that's a pretty big number. But growth in core markets like the US has become stagnant in the past year. Also, Hotstar, which Disney has admitted they're trying to sell if they can, with its average revenue of 59 cents per user, makes up nearly 50% of all current Disney Plus subscribers. 50% of the 150 million Disney Plus subscribers are Hotstar subscribers in India, paying 59 cents a month. That's not a lot of money. I'm sure they can make a little bit of money somehow on 59 cents, but I mean, come on, that's not good average revenue per user. For Disney, the path forward starts by unifying its own products with one easy-to-use, hard-to-cancel service and looking at strategic partnerships within the direct-to-consumer space that can offer more than what the company can do on its own. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Do you agree that there's no way that Bob Iger would have brought this up in a public interview where he's talking about selling off ABC, their linear networks, their TV stations, unless he was almost definitely going to do it, because it's obvious that makes more problems for him and makes the businesses even more difficult to manage. Also, if you worked for ABC, what would you think? Would you want to stay working at ABC while Bob Iger figures out who he can sell the company to? Obviously, the future of the company is not going to be good with Disney, and the people that buy the company are only looking to get the money they can out of it because, as Bob Iger has said himself, it's a no-growth business, meaning it really doesn't have that much of a future. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.